I got rudely cut off by an unexpected phone call, so we'll go ahead and finish this video out. I guess it'll now be a two-part. I think last I just finished this bull flag and shown off how you see it clean breaks over it and closes above this yellow top line, which is your resistance, and now you know it's going to be in an uptrend for a little bit. Now, it decides it wants to come back down and trade a little sideways and a little sloppy. Something I'll show you, though, is since I drew out this bottom yellow line on this chart, and I have my MA20, my MA lines are really good support and resistance lines. So when the price tried to drop back down and touch this MA20, which is my purple line here, and was getting kind of close to my support line from my bull flag, it decided to go against that and go in the opposite direction and turn back green. Then, right here, it sets up another bull flag, which is exactly what we want to see. It sets up, these bull flags don't always look the same. It's the way that it's trading. I can sketch this out. So, like I said again, I'll go ahead and do this. And let's say I've only got these first three candles. I would go ahead, let me move that back since it decided it was just going to pick up the entire thing. I would move this back to here. Now, what I would first draw this out with, and I'll pick this top side up just a little bit so I can get the proper angle that I'm wanting. I would draw this out like this. Now, this is my prediction. It does not mean it's happened yet, and you will also readjust it a little bit as you're going, as you're predicting. Because once you're predicting, you're not really sure what's going to happen, but then you can start changing what you think's going to happen and where exactly this bull flag is setting up. So, once I get this other huge red candle, I decide that, hey, it needs to come up just a little bit more to where now you can see it's sitting on top of this huge red candle, and setting it on top of the candle is much more important than setting it on top of a wick of a candle. So that a skinny bar right there where it says 1.42, it is more important for it to be sitting on that than a wick, because the actual candle is way more respected in algorithms and in charts than the wick is. So now that I've drawn all this out, I've already predicted from here, from this candle, what these next candles are going to do, which it drags out, it comes down, touches support, touches resistance, fights at support, now it's fighting in between it, now it gets pinched right here, goes green, and breaks above with 7% gain. And now once it breaks above, it's going to start climbing. It climbs from 7%, it trades sideways for a little bit. You get a 2% gain here that falls back down. You get a 3% and then a 5%. So now you're up probably, let's do this. We'll go back from the very first candlestick, or the first bull flag entry. If you were to enter on that first candle that I said to enter on, you would be up 50% at this point. Now, once it breaks this, I'm looking for it to trade on this MA20. It broke through the MA20. Now I'm just looking to see if it will fall under this VWAP, which is volume weighted average pressure. This is also a really good indicator of resistance and support and which way the stock is wanting to move. Now, since it stays above it, I'm still looking bullish on this stock. Now, it's going to decide to create another bull flag, and I think this one is actually drawn on the 2-minute chart, so I will run it back over this way so you can see this a little better. It may be on the 3. We'll try that, and if not, maybe I did draw it on the 1. But you can see these on all different charts. I did draw it on the 1-minute chart, so we'll go back over here and pull this up. So I've got my candles. I've got my flagpole here. I set this above the candle because I want to have this downward incline on this top. I want it to be sloping down. Now, I'm predicting, if I was predicting without these candles right here, if I've only got these 3 candles, I am not going to make this line do this. That is way too much of a downward slope. It's not actually a flag. So what I would do is I would probably pull it out at about this angle. I want it at this kind of a decline. As you can see though, it comes up here, it falls down, it touches this as the support. It goes and fights off of it and breaks up towards the middle section. Still fights around at the middle, tries to fight resistance. Comes down off resistance back towards the support, touches the support, doesn't like it anymore. Now it's going up higher. Then it clean breaks this line and closes above it. Once it closes above it, then it trades a little sideways, but it holds on with this MA20 line. And then right before close, it decided to create another bull flag that shot it up 8%, 8%, 1, 2, 3, 7%. Now, let's do a quick drawback. And let's go back to the very first candle that I drew. And let's go to the highest point that you could have got out at. If you had bought in at the price on this very first call that I set over here with this bull flag, and I watched all these bull flags get set up to show that it's going to have a continuation, you would have been up. You may not be able to see it up there in the top right very well because that 2.12, but that is 116% had you got out at the very, very top. You got all this information from these flags. They gave it to you clearly, and I hope this helped anyone with a little bit of chart reading. There's a lot more that you can do, but these are definitely my favorites because they're the easiest to spot just by looking at them.